the station that's on your side. This is News 12, first at 5.
Well, strong to severe storms will be moving in tomorrow. Our weather team has issued a first alert. What you need to know coming up.
Legal and political history unfolding in Miami this afternoon as President Donald Trump becomes the very first former president arraigned on criminal charges by federal prosecutors.
Trump is accused of unlawfully keeping national security documents when he left office and lied when officials tried to recover them.
Jay Gray breaks down everything that we know so far from today's events.
As his motorcade dips into an underground staging area below the federal courthouse. Out front, the crowd and tensions growing.
Look at you guys!
Inside, former President Trump voluntarily surrendering to U.S. Marshals and federal agents who take a digital fingerprint scan, but no mugshot. Next, he stands before a judge pleading not guilty to 37 counts from 7 separate charges, including obstruction of justice, destruction or falsification of records, conspiracy, and false statements.
First president in history, federally indicted and charged today. Never seen it before. And also to be accused of violating the Espionage Act.
Mr. Trump's attorneys lashing out at the Justice Department and the White House.
The people in charge of this country do not love America. They hate Donald Trump.
The proceeding over in just minutes.
Your next president!
While the back and forth outside continues for hours, police stationed every few feet as it all unfolds.
Now, former President Trump says he will speak publicly about the arraignment this evening from New Jersey, and he says even a conviction campaign.
All right, as you're heading out the door this evening, we are keeping an eye to the skies. The potential for some scattered showers are going to be out there for the rest of tonight. Going to stay on the more muggy side. Right now, we're tracking a good bit of energy in some of our southern counties and a few light showers for us here in Augusta. First, starting in some of those southern counties just outside of the CS area in Dublin along I-16, a good bit of thunderstorms there. That will likely skirt into southern sections of Emmanuel County over the next 45 minutes or so. But for us in Augusta, likely just staying a few isolated showers out there tonight and then relatively dry with some clouds out there. Much of the severe weather from today has actually been in southern sections of Georgia along 75, just near Valdosta, along that boundary that's just been stalled in southern sections of Georgia today. This is going to move back up to the north as we go through the day tomorrow, increasing those storm chances first in our southern counties tomorrow morning, and then as we go through the afternoon, that will start to spread for everybody else. So again, the greatest rain chances coming in the morning. We get a little bit of a pause as we go through the late morning into the early afternoon, and then another round of storms likely as we go through tomorrow afternoon. With those on and off showers and storms throughout both the morning and the afternoon, we have that first alert in effect starting at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, going all the way through 7 o'clock on Thursday morning, with the greatest threats coming in the form of some scattered storms, gusty winds, and even some large hail. We'll talk more about the forecast coming up in just a few minutes, but first, we'll get an update on first alert traffic.
And now, first alert traffic.
Let's first go outside over Grovetown and I-20. Things look to be a little bit quiet there on Lewiston Road and even on the off-ramp coming off of I-20. Not too much traffic there in Grovetown. Go outside over the Bobby Jones Expressway, I-20 and 520. Everything looks to be moving pretty nicely. And one more time outside over the 13th Street Bridge. Everything looks to be pretty quiet right now. The skies and the roadways are on the quieter side, but the skies are going to be changing a little bit more as we go through tomorrow morning. More on that first alert coming up in about 10 minutes.
Thanks, Anthony. As we near the 4-week mark since the city of Augusta first had its network disrupted, we now have a timeline of when they say everything will be back up and operational.
This statement was just released in the last 3 hours. As a result of the efforts to restore the city's network, many Augusta functions are fully up and running, but 3 major systems are still being worked on: the Geographic Information Systems, the Enterprise Asset Management System, and the Solid Waste Operations System. These services are expected to be restored within the next 2 weeks. An investigation is ongoing into whether any sensitive data was impacted.
Our News 12's Taylor Martin is live with us with a breakdown of what city services still face issues this evening. Taylor.
While multiple services around the city are back up and running, customers and people with the city tell me it's been a long time coming. While Augusta Utilities told me they're still able to serve customers and help them pay their bills, this sign is still up showing system issues continue to limit their ability to fully function at the drive-thru. But over at the tax commissioner's office, he tells me they're fully functional as of yesterday and able to help taxpayers after weeks of having to work around the cyber issue.
We weren't able to do any property tax payments, taking the property tax payments, and we couldn't use the phone, utilize the phone, because they were part of the network. Fortunately, everything is back to normal. So we can do property taxes, not only here at the municipal building, but also at the tag offices, so we can do all your property tax needs at each of those offices.
All new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we'll hear about what this has been like for customers and taxpayers.
Okay, thanks for that, Taylor. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office needs your help looking for this man, 20-year-old Khalil Hudson. Authorities say on Sunday, Hudson entered an apartment on Fayetteville Drive and attacked the current partner of his ex-girlfriend with a knife. Hudson is considered armed and dangerous. If you have any information, call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office.
A 24-year-old mother is behind bars accused of leaving her toddler home alone while she delivered DoorDash. Shayna Sebastian is still in jail tonight after her arrest. Child's grandmother telling them she believed her 22-month-old grandson was in the apartment by himself while Sebastian was delivering food. Fire and rescue found the child in a closet, sleeping on the floor surrounded by trash. They say they also found several animals in poor condition there. Sebastian is facing several charges, including cruelty to children, causing excessive physical or mental pain, and cruelty to animals.
Georgia Governor Brian Kemp breaking his silence on the possibility of a 2024 presidential campaign, saying that he does not have any plans to do so. He says that in politics, doors are always opening and closing, and that he's learned over the years that it is better to focus on the task at hand. Kemp says that he has many friends in the Republican field running for president, but did not say if he would provide an endorsement to any of them. The ACLU of Georgia is demanding answers from state officials in response to an arrest made during a protest. 3 activists who protested against the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center are facing charges of money laundering and charity fraud. The ACLU says that those accusations are false and retaliation. The director says that these 3 activists and others arrested should be allowed to express themselves.
Part of our constitutional system, part of how people are allowed to express their political views and express their opposition or support for different political matters. And it's deeply concerning that the state of Georgia would use something like, misrepresent and accuse people of terrorism.
The Attorney General of Georgia and the GBI director saying that they have no comment because this is an active and ongoing investigation.
Here's some good news tonight. The Children's Hospital of Georgia is getting a $5,000 donation from Dunkin' Donuts. Now, the money comes from last month's Dunkin' Iced Coffee Day in Augusta and Savannah, where $1 from every iced coffee on May 23rd went towards the donation. The money will be presented to the hospital on Thursday. Dunkin' Iced Coffee Day raised more than $1.6 million for children's hospitals all over the country.
Well, how do we train and then keep teachers in South Carolina? Well, just ahead, how the state could address the issue of talent not sticking around. Anthony?
All right, guys, as we're going through the day tomorrow, we're going to keep a close eye on radar. The potential for strong to severe weather will be there. We've issued a first alert for the entire CSRA. We'll time out those storms when we come back.
The Vaughn Taylor Championship has found some new digs. Coming up all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we'll take you around the course at Bartram Trail.
Time.
Candy can fix it.
Our weather team is issuing a first alert for tomorrow's storms. Hail and damaging winds are predicted to come our way. We'll send things over to First Alert meteorologist Anthony Carpino. Anthony, what else can we see, and how big is this risk for tomorrow?
Yeah, the risk is going to first start in some of our southern counties and western counties, then start to slide into the rest of the region as we head through tomorrow afternoon. So a couple waves of energy tomorrow, really going to focus in on the wind threat with those thunderstorms, as well as some large hail. That's going to be a good possibility too. For tonight, we're actually relatively dry in Augusta. Aside from a few light showers out there, much of that severe weather has been pushed to our south. This boundary here is going to slowly start to slide back up to the north, and that's going to bring those storm chances back as we head through tomorrow morning and the afternoon. Again, much of the northern half of the viewing area is on the drier side. We had a few light showers move through Augusta not too long ago, but much of the storm activity this afternoon has been between Wrightsville going all the way through Emmanuel County as well, near Swainsboro. A few more thunderstorms there will be possible tonight, and for us in Augusta, staying on the drier side. So as we go through tonight here locally in the metro, we are going to stay relatively dry aside from a stray shower here or there. As you can see tomorrow, those rain chances really start to go up by 8 o'clock in the morning, and then actually will slowly go down by about midday, with more storms returning as we go through the afternoon. So it's not going to be a complete rain event tomorrow. It's going to be on and off showers and storms throughout both the morning and in the afternoon. Throughout the day tonight, we're going to just stay on the partly cloudy sky, and temperature-wise falling down to the mid-70s by tomorrow, by this evening, and then back to the upper 70s, low and 60s for tomorrow morning. That first alert is in effect for the entire CSRA starting 7 o'clock tomorrow for 24 hours all the way through Thursday morning. Again, really highlighting those very gusty winds, large hail, of course, with thunderstorms, watching lightning. There is an isolated tornado threat, but I think that's really going to be either our western counties or just outside of the CSRA. A lot of that severe weather primarily focused southern sections of Alabama and going through the southern half of Georgia. This is the severe outlook from the Storm Prediction Center for tomorrow. Us in the CSRA, we're under that level 2 slight risk, so the highest potential for scattered thunderstorms there will be likely found in some of our western to southern counties there, and that goes with that isolated tornado threat. The greatest hail threat is going to be for some of those western counties as well. That 15% risk for most of the CSRA, following that level 2 slight risk. As you can see, those black lines, that indicates a significant hail threat, so we're going to pay close attention to those western counties as we go through both tomorrow morning and going through the afternoon for our Wednesday. Let's time things out as we get past midnight. The early morning hours of Wednesday, you can see a lot of that heavier shower and storm activity is south and west of Augusta. Then as we get closer to midday, more on and off scattered showers and storms are going to be possible. By 4 o'clock, everything starts to fill back in, and that hail threat, storm threat is going to be for the entire CSRA. Through midnight, going through early Thursday morning, still dealing with some scattered storms, and another wave of energy is going to be possible Thursday morning as well as Thursday afternoon. Still looking at that severe threat for Thursday afternoon. We might need to extend that first alert into the afternoon as well, so we'll keep you posted on that. High rain and storm chances both on Wednesday and Thursday. We'll dry things out for Saturday and Friday with partly to mostly sunny skies, and then that storm threat will start to go back up as we go through the day on Father's Day for Sunday. The next 7 days, those temperatures are actually going to get a chance to warm up a little bit more, with drier conditions expected for Friday and Saturday, near 90 degrees, near seasonal highs there, but with more rain on the way for Sunday and Monday, we'll see temperatures a little bit cooler into the mid and upper 80s.
All right, thanks, Anthony. Recommendations aimed at turning around South Carolina's growing teacher shortage are now in the hands of the State Board of Education.
The head of the task force that's been researching and developing this report for the last several months presented the final product to the group today. Our State House reporter Mary Green was at today's State Board meeting and has the details.
Of the Teacher Recruitment and Retention Task Force's 23 total recommendations, some will require action from the General Assembly, but other recommendations will only need approval from the State Department of Education and State Board of Education to implement.
We all have to work together if this is going to help our children.
The recommendations are divided among 4 main categories: compensation and evaluation, recruitment, educator preparation, and working conditions. Nearly half the 23 recommendations fall under the South Carolina Department of Education's purview. They include a public relations campaign to enhance public respect for the profession, reevaluating state standards and assessments, and guaranteeing more teachers get a daily break or planning time. The task force is asking the State Department of Education to report annually on the progress South Carolina is making toward these goals for at least the next 3 years.
We will be coming to you and asking you, well, what's been done about this, what's been done about that. I don't think any of us protect every single word. You know what I'm saying? Because things evolve, and people have other ideas that are creative. But you're going to have a huge responsibility.
Some of these proposals already have the backing of Governor Henry McMaster, including raising the statewide starting salary for teachers up to $50,000 by 2026. Reporting in Columbia, I'm Mary Green.
And meanwhile, the General Assembly likely wouldn't be able to take up the recommendations that fall under its purview until the start of next year.
If one instrument can create a melody, then a band can be a force. Up next, we'll take a look at a unique band celebrating 30 years.
First of all,
They do all night.
30 years of music, and one Atlanta band is still going strong. Their historic beginnings continue today to inspire most anyone who hears them play.
Sawyer Bussey introduces us to the Atlanta Freedom Band.
One instrument can create a melody. A band
Ready?
can be a force. You are listening to Atlanta Freedom Band's concert band. Woven into the music is a story that started back in 1993 with a man named Buzz Carr Jr. He went to the Atlanta Pride Parade and was disappointed to find there wasn't a marching band. He started one in his living room. Their first performance was in 1994.
But the group like ours, Pride, is probably the foremost emotion that I feel.
The band has proudly existed since, playing concerts and parades.
When I was coming up, it wasn't available, or I didn't know about it, and it wasn't okay to be out.
The group is made up of people within the LGBTQ community and allies.
We provide a kind of visibility. They see a group like us, proud musicians, providing music and joy and love to the community.
Atlanta Freedom Bands has the Atlanta Freedom Concert Band, the Atlanta Freedom Marching Band, and Color Guard, and the Metronome Stage Band.
Even though our rights have expanded and things have improved, there are still situations where we're not equal.
They're preparing now for the 30th anniversary concert, and the details matter. Music speaks, and this music coming from this band doesn't just sound beautiful. This is a display of the power of togetherness.
If you are in Atlanta this weekend, you might be able to catch the band's 30th anniversary concert. It's called Out of This World. It'll be performed the 17th at the church on Ponce and Highland.
Well, take a look at this. Today, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers tested the dam spillway gates at the Richard B. Russell Lake Dam down there in Savannah. This is so inspections can take place, and you can see something like this for yourself tomorrow. Testing will happen at the J. Strom Thurmond Dam in much of the same way that you're looking at right here. If you'd like to watch the best locations are at the end of the West Dam Park Road on the Georgia side or below Dam Recreation Area off Anniversary Circle on the South Carolina side. That test will start at 9 a.m. I know Will Volk, I believe, covered this last year. There's a lot of spectators that go out there to watch this happen. It's really incredible.
It's amazing to see. I mean,
yeah, it's
it
pretty
is
cool.
Amazing. It almost looks like something that would be in some sort of movie.
You can't believe how much water is coming through there until you see it for yourself. It is, if you do have the opportunity to get out there, it is really great to see. It's really cool to watch. A great atmosphere for the kids as well.
Yep.
Anthony?
Something you definitely don't see every day.
It's a pretty cool sight for sure. I remember watching the video that Will Volk got for us last year, and just the power of water coming out of those gates. It's pretty incredible for sure. Well, as we go through this evening, we're going to keep an eye to the skies. Some light showers right now, but the severe threat, that's going to be going up as we go through tomorrow morning all the way through the afternoon. We'll have one more check of the forecast coming up in just a minute, but first, we have our latest sunshade winner. Today's winner is Tamora Parker from Williston, South Carolina. If you want to enter, just head to our website, wrdw.com, go to the context section, and you can enter to win for yourself.
Growing
Mix.
heading out the door this evening, we've got a few light showers out there in Augusta right now. We'll dry things up a little bit more going through this evening, but the storm chances, they're definitely going back up by tomorrow morning. We do have that first alert in effect for the entire CSRA, starting at 7 o'clock in the morning and continuing all the way through about 7 o'clock on Thursday morning. The greatest impacts there are going to come in the form of some very gusty winds and even some large hail. We do have that level 3 risk just outside of the CSRA, southern sections of Georgia stretching all the way back to Mississippi. For us locally, that level 2 slight risk is what we're going to be dealing with, so scattered severe thunderstorms will be a possibility both in the morning as well as in towards the afternoon. The hail threat is going to be pretty high, even significant for some of our southern and western counties, so we're really going to pay close attention to those thunderstorms as they develop going through both the morning, a little bit of a lull into the afternoon, and then more storms are going to be a possibility as we head through Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, all the way through Thursday morning there. So the next 7 days, we're going to keep a close eye on tomorrow and Thursday. More storms possible for the upcoming weekend.
All the tools, the latest technology, and the first team of 5 meteorologists. News 12 First Alert Weather on your side.
There is a full moon in June.
There are so many options when it comes to choosing a personal injury lawyer.
Some claim to get you big bucks, and some say they never lose. So how do you choose?
We say, at the end of the day, it's not about us. It's about you.
It's about you.
At the Eichholz Law Firm, we will work to get you the justice you deserve.